Who's done today? Jitish, na? Then
Yes.
Sure.
Yes. Yeah.
so yeah, Jitish is going to give presentation. So Jitish, let us follow certain format while giving presentation. So you are going to give first slide wise presentation, then you are going to show in demo in the system, and third you are going to ask the questions whatever you have noted down as a part of your requirement gathering. Okay, and you should not rush to finish slide. You have to explain very in very detailed manner. Here you are not giving presentation to finish your slide. Here let's say all of us are completely new to SAP. We are the client and you are the consultant. You are making us to understand what is the SAP. I mean the topic whichever you have taken. And for once you complete each client, you need to ask or confirmation either you have really understood or any questions you have. You're getting Najitish. So in that
Yes,
way,
sir.
you should not rush to finish the slide, please. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Over to you, Jitish. Then, yeah, please. Yeah. So everybody, please listen carefully. In whichever slide you have any doubt, for every slide you have to ask the questions to him. And at last he will be asking the questions to you. Whatever he feel that it is required as part of requirement gathering from the client, you have to tell him. Okay. Okay, Jitish. Then over to you, buddy. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, sir. Actually, how to share this screen? Are you able to see the screen? Actually.
Yeah, Jitish, you are able to see. Can you minimize your that Skype from top? Huh? Minimize. You are maximizing. Minimize. Huh? Yeah, we can see your screen. Yeah, yeah, we can see. Correct. Yeah, very nice.
Uh, Good morning, everyone. So today I have got the opportunity to present about one of the baseline configuration in SAP FICO, and it's about the field status variant. So as you all know that in SAP there is a variant principle. So in the variant principle, so there are four types of variant principle. One is chart of account, posting period variant, field status variant, and fiscal year variant. So out of which this is a type of variant.
Sorry to interrupt. Actually, I'm not able to see the screen. It's black screen only coming.
But we are able to see Nilam. Other people are able to see. Please, can you confirm?
Yes,
Now,
sir.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we are able
Now,
to see. Yes.
Nilam
now I
can.
can. Yes, now I can.
Okay, 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 okay. Yeah, yeah, Jitish, please go ahead.
Okay, so today I will be giving the presentation about field status variant. So first we will be starting with what is a field status variant. So as we all know that field status variant, it contains the list of field status group. So what happens is in SAP, whenever we define a field status group, it is defined at client level. And since it's defined at a client level, it can be assigned to multiple company codes. So the field status variant, it can be defined up to maximum 4-digit code. It's either numeric or alphanumeric. So this field status variant, the main purpose of this is it controls the fields. Like for example, when we do the transaction data, so in the line item level, whatever the fields are there, it controls that particular field for for that particular GL. So under the field status variant, there comes the field status group. So what happens in that field status group? There are various types of groups. Like for example, you can I have shown here. So in the field status group, there are various groups. Like if you are doing any bank related GL transactions, so it comes under the bank group. If you are doing any cost related or any expense related GL transaction. So it comes under this group. So whenever we do any transaction in the transaction data, so through this account, whatever fields you want required or suppressed or optional, will be choosing will be choosing one of the option while doing the transaction. So I have given an example here. You can see. So, for example, whenever you are doing any entry, so there is a group called as general. So this general group, it is used for investment account or else any share capital account or any miscellaneous expenses whenever we are doing. So you will be seeing getting using this general one group. So under this general group, there is a tab called general data. So there we will be keeping this text field as required. So I will be showing you in the next presentation. So in the system, like how we can do this. So is there any questions regarding that?
Jitesh, right? Hi, Jitesh. Can you just explain me that fourth slide? Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so first you see, so here is under the field status variant comes the field status group. So what it does is it contains the grouping of the fields, and each field it contains the status of the field that is surface required and optional. So I'll just show you here. So if you go to OBC4, so for example, I'm just taking this. So this is the standard one from SAP. So under this you will have various type of groups. Like for if it is for bank account, so this will be the group. So if it is for any material, like if you are purchasing any material, packaging material, so in that you will be using this group. So I'll just give example. So this is the bank account. So for this, whatever fields you want to keep as for example, you see here text is there. So if you want it to keep as required, so you can keep it as required instead of optional. So this effect I'll show you in the system when I'll be doing the transaction, like how it will perform in the system. And once you create the field status group, then we can assign the field status group to the GL account company code segment data. So once this is done, right? So we maintain the field status group. So we have to go to the GL master data. So the transaction code is FS00. Sorry. So you can see here. So under the company code segment data, we have two tabs. One is the control data. Another is the create bank interest data. So under this tab, we will put this particular GL group. So once we put this GL group here, so it will be controlling the transaction field. So that is what I have mentioned here. So the field status group in GL account controls the data entry filling at the line item level while posting the transaction. So the document entry fields can be controlled in two ways. One is through this field status group, another is through the posting key. So this GL account, its field status group, it's controlled at the like company code level or client level, whereas this posting key it is controlled at global level. So client level means like particular company. So if you have three companies, so like you can assign this to that particular company, and if there is any changes or requirement you can adjust accordingly. But global level means this is applicable to all the company codes. So this is what. So is there any doubt?
No, Jitesh.
Okay, so I'll be showing in the system. So I'll show you one. So once I show you in the system, you'll get to know better. So the path to field status variant is OBC4. Either you can put the transaction code or else you can go through the path also. So it's SPRO, and this is the IMG screen. So under this IMG screen, there is financial accounting new. Then under that you can see here financial accounting global settings new. So you can click there also. Under that there is ledgers, and under ledgers there is a tab called as fields. So you can click there and see define field status variant. So what you can do is always we follow the standard, like the from the either you can create your own field status variant which is a 4-digit numeric or alphanumeric. So you can like follow the standard one, or else you can create your own also. Like you have to select from the standard one, and then here is an option as copy. So you can from that you can create your own this field status variant, and once you click then you can save it. And once you have clicked the field status variant, once you have created it, then you have to like assign the group. So there are various groups under this field status variant. So I'll show you what all are the groups. So here are the various account field status groups. So these are the various group related to particular GL. So when in FS00 we create the GLs, right? So you know, for example, if any bank related GL, so we will be putting this group. If any revenue related GL, like if you get any revenue GL, so in that we'll be putting this GL account group. If any related to like cost, where we incur the expense and all department wise, so we will be using this. When you will be using the module, like procurement of materials or packaging materials, so you will be using this group. So what is the use of this group is, like for example, see this is a general one. So general means, as I said, see I have put here. So this general GL account, it's used, for example, when you do any investment GL account, right? Any GL account which is related to investments, air capital, or any expense GL, miscellaneous GL. So that time you can use this general field. If you don't want to use this remaining groups, you can use this one. So for example, I am putting this general data tab text as required. Okay, so when I do the uh, data entry, so you can see here. So this is my transaction screen FB50, where we will be doing the day-to-day GL transaction or JV postings. So you can see here I'll be putting the today's date. Okay, so we'll be putting an entry like expense account debited. We'll put the amount 500. So I had given here the text field as mandatory. So since I'll for example, if I don't put this text field, it will throw me a error. So like I have given it as required. So until and unless I see see an entry is required in the assigned field also. So for example, I just put as posting. See here text field, whatever I have given there as required. So until and unless you don't put the text field here, the system will not allow you to save this transaction data. So I have put the text like normally I'm just putting it like that. So in real time, like you will be putting as per what type of transaction it is. So you'll be putting the text. See, it's valued because see this is a bank related GL, and in this bank related GL there is a term called as value date. Okay, so that is the reason it's asking for this. This is also controlled through that bank account only. So in order, like I want to say like in field status group there are, see, for this particular like line item label there are so many fields. You can see here amount in document, currency, cost center, order, sales order, so profit center. So like the client, right, so they will not for every GL account they don't require so much of like objects, like for particular thing they don't want to see so much of tabs. So in order to control that tab, like for example for this particular GL, whatever are the necessary things they want to see, like the cost center or else the profit center or else the value date, so that particular thing they can control through this like field status group. So they don't means do not need to show everything here. So the main purpose of that field status group is they control these fields. Okay, so whatever they want as optional, so they no need to put all the data here. So that is the main work of this field status group. So is there any questions regarding that? Hello?
No decision.
Okay, so this is how we'll do the posting in the system, and after that, so here also I prepared like how you will be doing the transaction. So I'll have prepared the path also as well as the T code, like how you will be creating this. So either you can create like you can use the standard one, or else you can create your own, which is alphanumeric. Once you create the variant, so under that variant you have to assign this group. So once you assign all the group, then since it's like a client level setting, so like various company code you will be using this field status variant. So you can assign this to that particular company code. So since for our case, like there are 3 company codes, 2 for India, 1 for US, so we will be assigning this field status variant to our company code. So the transaction code is OBC5. So once you create the group, right, so I forgot to show you how to assign it. So this is the T code OBC5, or else I have written in the this document what is the path also. the same path where I created the field status variant, just down to that you will get that option. So once you get, then you'll put all your company codes here. For example, it's this is one company called Amazon. So for here you have to assign the field status variant. So how will that, and then if you don't assign, then how will it know that for this company code they are using this variant? Or else if you have to create a different variant where you want that particular GL group, like that field status group, to be required, and another company code you want it to be optional. So in that scenario you will be using this to assign to various company code as per their requirement. So this is how we will assign that. So once you assign, then you will be able to use this field status variant. So this was all from my end. So after that, you can see here also I have given a screenshot. Like once you go on any group, then you can click on that particular what type of transaction you want it as a required, or if you want it as optional. So once you click on that particular option, you'll get this like surprise required option. Once you click on any one of them as per your requirement, then you can able to do the transaction. So that is all from my end. So questions, like I have gathered 2 3 questions. So like I wanted to know like what the like how many company codes you have, and what, like will I be creating a separate field status variant, or will you be using the standard one?
So, what is the difference? Like, if you want to create the standard ones, what is the, like, what is the, what do you say, what is the benefit for us if you want to, like, between copying and creating?
Benefit in the sense, like, see, this is the SAP standard one, which
Mhm.
SAP recommends to use it. But
Okay.
as per your requirement, if you say no, I want to have some like for custom development or something. So if you want any development type of thing, so in that, if you use your own field status variant, then you will be able to do that.
Okay, so how long it will take if you take time, like, if you want, if you say that you have to create means, what is the estimated time, like, for that completion? See, copying, I think it will take very, like, hardly seconds.
Okay, so if you want any extra customization and all, so it depends. It can take, it will take, because some ABAP development and all is required. So it will take at like 1 week to 2 week time. It can take, yeah.
Okay, then it's better that we will go for copying only. Thank you, Jitish.
So what type of field status variant you want to create? Like whether you want to keep it as completely numeric or alphanumeric. So what is the uses?
As per me, I will go
I
for
think
alphanumeric.
Okay, thank you. So same ways with the group also. So the group also you can create a new one, or else you can keep the existing one. So group, as I said, so for example, as I said, like this particular group. So in, so see, in this group, you are keeping, for example, this invoice field as required. Okay. So I'll say you once again, like you will get to know better. So in this like field status variant for this group, I'm keeping the reference as mandatory. So the reason we are creating this group is because it like controls the line item level. So what you can do is you can create an, for this company code you are keeping that field as required, okay, and for example you are creating another company code, you also have another company code, but that company code is saying no, I don't want that as required. So what will you do is like for example they are saying no, I don't want this general data field invoice reference as required, I want it as suppressed. So in that scenario, as we are assigning this field status variant to the company codes, right, so we will be able to do the changes as per the like legal entity requirements. So field status group also you will be able to create on your own, like you can use the existing one, or else you can like create your own. So see the data and all everything will be same if you copy, just that you will be changing the naming of that. So whatever the standard SAP naming is there, instead of that you will be using a like your own whatever like you have decided to keep the name, you can keep it. So and the last requirement is under the field status group, what are fields like when you will be doing the entry, so whatever what are fields you want to keep it as suppress, required or optional. So this information also like I will be gathering from the client, so they will be telling me if I want it as suppress or required or entry. So like I will be informing them about the different tabs, like for payment processing, so when you process the payment what are the fields are there, so they will see the fields and they will let me know like if they want this value date and payment terms, so these are the few due date, so these are the few things which are mandatory. Remaining things if they don't want, so if they tell me that no, I don't want this type of information to be shown on the line item label, then I will ask them and then I can keep it as suppress, so they don't have to do any data entry on that particular tab. So this is all about field status group. So sir, actually this much I have prepared, sir.
Very nice, Jitish. Really very nice. Very nice presentation with very in-depth knowledge. Thank you, Jitish. Anybody has any question on this topic? Oh,
Sir,
Jitish,
I
I want.
have, sir.
Okay, yeah,
So
please.
in that, in FB60 and yeah, is there FB60 and all? Is there any way that we can, hide those extra unwanted downline the columns?
Huh, yes, that's what screen variant is there. Okay.
Can you show us, sir, once?
I'll show you. I'll show you.
Okay.
Okay. There is
It was
SSDO.
nice. Thank you,
There is
Jitish.
one. There is one T code called SSDO. With that, you can control it. Yeah, no problem. Anybody has any other question?
Yes, Jitish, if client said like they want all the fields are required fields, then how we can convince them like we cannot do all the required fields?
Mm, okay, so that question, sir, can you please help me?
You try to answer. Think, no problem. You tell the nurse. See, all the field will not be able to enter because there are some posting in SAP which come automatically. You're getting na. So in that scenario, if you have made every field mandatory, then how will be entering? There is no manual intervention. For which and all field will write the substitution?
It
You're
looks like
getting now. Yeah, it will become very difficult.
yeah, it is very
and
difficult.
and and another point, you have to ask them that if that field is really required. If not required, then why unnecessarily? No, it will be. And you have to also think from the user point of view. All the time more than 300 field they have to fill. Is that correct way of doing the accounting entry? Just to post one entry, it will take 1 hour. Correct na, Nilam? If you make all field
Yes,
mandatory,
sir. It's
it will
yes, sir.
take
It's time consuming. Yes.
1 hour it will take now almost, if you fill all the data. And some of the field will not be able to enter directly. Okay, so let me tell you one thing, very secret point.